In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 4 greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
Welcome everybody back to Spinnerack. We've been missing you for quite a while. I just want to introduce the whole crew. Once again, we have Cal right here, Super Cal. We have Petey the Magnificent.
Hey.
And then we got the other dude at the end, D. Okay?
D-Man.
All right, so I'm your host, Mario. Today we're going to talk a couple of subjects, but the first one we want to hit is that fantastic Daredevil Netflix series. We got to say it's off the hook. I'm going to ask everybody's impartial opinion, you know.
That's impartial, huh? I hear you.
Yeah, it's impartial.
Go ahead.
And I'm going to ask you your realistic appraisal.
You're not wrong, brother. Go ahead.
Your realistic appraisal of the new Daredevil show. Okay? I want to spin this to my man, Magnificent Petey. You give us the word, my friend.
Oh, it's a very entertaining show. I like it a lot.
Petey, calm down with the enthusiasm.
It's a great show, man. I really love it.
2 minutes, please.
No,
You cut the guy in the first 15 seconds.
this is Dennis' style, though. He has to do it. He has to cut in. But yeah, I like the show. I like the fights, especially the fights. Is like, I mean, it's almost it's different from watching some of the other like hand-to-hand fights where it's real gritty. It's there's one thing I'll talk about it later, but otherwise I really enjoyed it.
All right, that's what I like to hear. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. Partial observer. Cal, I think I'm gonna go to D-Man. You're kind of quiet there, so you're scaring me. So, what are you saying, D-Man, on this show?
Yo, man. Impressed from episode 1. I can tell you where I was most impressed before even I saw the show. When Stephen S. the Knight was hired on as executive producer for what he did on Spartacus. Yeah. With the first episode, he hooked me hook, line, and sinker. He got me where the villain, the antagonist to the series is a mystery. We all know who he's supposed to be. We don't see him. We barely hear him. We're eager to... What is this version of Kingpin going to look like? The way the series has been told, and it's only 13 episodes, but because I know Stephen the Knight, quickly gets the story running. He doesn't waste time. I was very captivated by the first episode. The episode was a fantastic first start, which got me eager to see the rest of the series, to see the rest of the episodes.
Wait. What? Did you watch the show?
I did. I'm just saying the first episode hooked me where I was like,
pull them in.
I'm on board. I'm on board. Take me on this thrill ride. And they didn't disappoint. They didn't. Well, a little bit
there too, but
yes, a little bit.
9 out of 10.
Not yes.
So let me pass it on to my man himself,
Awesome.
Super Cal. Tell us.
This was great. Okay, Daredevil for me was the gateway comic. I knew all about superheroes and I had, dabbled here and there, but Daredevil was the gateway comic. That was the comic book that got me reading comics and kept me continuing reading them. It was Daredevil 177. Daredevil had lost his radar since. Stick, it was the first time he had appeared, and I was totally captivated by the story. And the show did exactly that. I haven't read Daredevil in a long time because they ruined it with a whole bunch of other stuff. But this show, yes, okay, all of the integral parts of Daredevil are there. From the first episode running all the way through, it's a great ride. It's an excellent story, excellent visuals. I have, some things about it that I don't necessarily care for, but overall, that's an A show. I mean, DC, one of the things that DC has said is that they want to come over here and they want to do the shows that are more grounded, more realistic. Well, Marvel just laid them the template. That's how you do it. And use the characters that work in that setting. Okay, use the characters that work in that setting. Everything about that was Daredevil. You've got plenty of good stories for them, and they went for it. They said, no, this is the right format. This is the right venue. These are the right stories, and they got it.
I don't think they got a lot of good stories. I think they have one timeline that they're going to follow. They're going to follow the whole Hand, Elektra, the Kingpin, the Man Without Fear, that storyline with Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. and what's it called?
That's a lot of storylines.
No. But it's
that's
one. No. It's not like he had like all these variations. It's like one. If you read it's seamless. It's a seamless storyline. It's not like it jumps over the book.
They're going to be basically going to be Bendis' stories and Miller's. So everything else is just
What did Bendis do that added on to his mythos of
No, but I'm just
Daredevil?
saying he made him, at one point you had him a little bit more campier than what he was on the Bendis. And Bendis made him, hey, this is who he is. That's what I think.
Bendis made him that?
No, they already did that with Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith had brought back, even though it was only a short period that Carl Kessel and Kerry Nord did it for a little, but it wasn't. They didn't.
So you're knocking
Bendis. Still
Bendis.
dark.
I'm not saying knocking Bendis. I mean, he didn't bring anything new. He just
He didn't bring anything new, but I
regurgitated.
thought he made the character come back to where it was before. As opposed to
He never really. Once Miller put him there, he never really left. The show, to be honest, isn't too far away from what Kessel was doing because a lot of the lighter moments are when he's out of the suit. Not everything is drenched in darkness, and I'll disagree. There are other storylines that they could pursue outside of what Miller did, where there were some really good stories. So you can really go with it.
I don't know.
One thing I like one of the things that I liked what they did in the story was their conception of Matt being Daredevil. And one of the things that I liked that I saw for myself, how I saw the character, and I was wondering why they weight down the character with so much guilt about being Daredevil. Like, he really doesn't want to. Is that I always saw him, Daredevil was his ability to exercise what he couldn't do when he was blind. I'm just like, he's coming from a fighter background. His father's telling him he shouldn't fight, right? He really wants to do these things. He wants to be able to bust ass, kick butt, and take names, and Daredevil provides that. And there was a line in the show where he says, no, he does this because he enjoys it. I'm like, yeah that's right. That's how I saw Matt. That's how I saw Matt. Yeah, he does enjoy being Daredevil.
Because he's saying, how long are you going to do this? He says, I want to save my city, basically. But notice he's saying that, the Kingpin is saying that, Arrow is saying that, everybody's trying to save
and that's
city.
the other thing
and
that
that's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, his thing is not really trying to save the city. That's how I saw Matt. I'm like, the city is an opportunity to do his things, but his thing is, I want to be able to.
That's what Rosario Dawson basically said.
Yeah,
Nothing's
exactly.
gonna stop you. This is you. You're going to do this no matter what. It's always going to be
because you want to do this. Exactly. It has nothing to really to do with the city. The city is your catalyst. The city is your end result, but it's not your catalyst.
So what about Vincent D'Onofrio?
Ooh, wow!
I think he
what a take on Kingpin.
Look, he took a great job.
What a take.
But if there's one criticism I have is that he seems a little too tentative for me. Sometimes.
No,
I
like that.
I love him.
I like
but
that.
I remember this guy from when I was reading him. I was like, he was always sure of himself. There's no second thoughts on what can be done. I love his skills. He can speak different languages. He's thinking ahead. He makes people think he can't do certain things. But his anger, which we all remember in the comics, his anger is one thing. But I'm saying he's a little tentative sometimes.
I thought that was part of the. He was playing a role within a role on the show because the whole idea is when he's in front of these other guys, he's allowing them to believe that he's not really this mastermind, that he doesn't understand these languages, that maybe he's just a little bit slow,
right?
That maybe he's just that he's a little bit deferential. Look, I don't want any trouble or anything of that nature. When really this guy's ready to take anybody out of drop.
But we see him behind, and we see him I don't want to say much about what is actually happening in the show, but
everybody's seen it.
All right, we see when he's sleeping at night, right, and he can't get up. He has to get up in the middle of the night, and he has to. He's scared of what happened before to him in the past, and you're like, wow. I mean, he's doing a great job.
I don't know if they did that in the comic books. I don't know the story. I was like, I don't remember that storyline. Exactly. I haven't been into comic books for a while, and I was just like, that storyline is a different
reading issue.
And my whole point, what I'm saying is that element of him saying with the picture was a great visual symbolism with the picture that's reminding him of the wall that he's looking at. And I was just like, wow, very well done. The other thing that I like that they did, which was different, his wife. In the books, his wife doesn't like what he does and is this almost sheltered, almost closed off individual.
Yeah.
In this one, no, she's the woman not behind the throne. She's the woman that's supportive of what he does. And I'm like, ooh, the first meeting, I was like, okay, I like this different take.
There's more to Vanessa than we all.
I think they sprinkle a lot more of substance to all the characters. Even Foggy is three-dimensional. And I like also how the Kingpin hired them in the series. And I like the tie-in to the Marvel movies with the, the idea of that. The first Avengers movie with the Chitauri and the whole collapse of that area and the whole destruction of the city caused the Kingpin to step up to say, hey, I want to.
Yeah, that was a pretty Tell me what you got to
Just
say,
one
bro.
bit.
Costume sucks.
Well, not only the costume.
The
I just
current
think,
costume.
I don't think that they should, like you see in the picture there, I don't think that they should have him having so much injury. Like,
Oh, you know,
I
no,
don't
Pete,
think
no.
that's-
I disagree.
I think it's more like
disagree.
Die Hard, like what was it? That fourth Die Hard movie where basically Bruce Willis can jump off a plane, land on the ground at the same time, and then run from it.
Yeah.
That the convention of the thing is that he does this Daredevil stuff and he doesn't get hurt. He could be, I'm feeling bad, but not having like he's completely beat up every
getting-
time they see him.
No, I
He
can see
can
what
show up
PD's
and
saying.
he's
PD's right. When I
completely
first
beat
looked, I said, man, this guy's getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, that's what made it so realistic.
But then how? He doesn't have superpowers. How does he continue
Correct.
and continue and continue?
He meditates.
Meditate.
Yeah.
But he says, you know what? Murdochs never go down, you know? And that's why. It's
Right.
just that continually, they keep on getting up, even though they're getting beaten and
Yeah.
stuff like that. That's what drives. I mean, that fight with the
Yeah,
Russians
why
in
get
that
beaten?
hallway.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
He was
But you
beaten
know,
up,
but
and
you
he's
know what?
flipping
But you
around.
know what fight also got me too?
What?
When he was fighting the samurai or the ninja. I was like, okay, are they gonna make this guy be able to beat? And I was like, okay, they're not. He can't. His skills is limited. And I was like, he never completed training with stick. And I was like, bravo, thank
bravo.
you. He is not this guy that's gonna be able to kick butt all the time. And I was like, perfect.
He will now that he has the armor.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to help a lot. That's
Yeah.
for sure. But he can
Because
still
the
take
ba-
hits.
The
He can still
basic
get
thing,
hit.
the basic thing with that fight was to show, look, this guy needs some protection. It wasn't
Right.
so much that he couldn't fight the dude, but the dude had an extended weapon, okay? And it was pretty much, he was like, look, he was doing like the death of 1,000 cuts. He was like, okay, I'm going to whittle you down bit by bit by bit by bit. Now I got you. And then, of course, the hero was able to get out of it by what? Because of some contrivance, and he sets him all the flames. Whatever.
Well, he didn't set it. The guy set himself on fire by mistake, but
It
you know
could-
that happened. But whatever. But it wasn't more about him getting hurt as far as the suit. Even though without the suit, the guy didn't have protection. The whole it's
He had,
just
an
show
he had an extended weapon. We never saw Daredevil
But-
use his. We never saw him use the
because
sticks.
he couldn't.
We never saw him use the sticks in the manner that he uses in the comics. He's able to use those as long-range weapons.
Well,
We
he
didn't
did
do
in the
that.
first episode when he took
Yes.
that. The what you call the taser? King! I said, oh,
And then-
Great
nice.
opening, yeah, for it.
The whole thing is that whole thing is like it's building blocks. I mean, right there, if they had shown that and kept it consistent through the series, great. They showed it, they abandoned it, and then little by little,
Yeah, you're
something-
right about that.
Little by little, we get little more pieces. He meets
Right.
with sticks like, hey, keep the sticks. Hey, you know what? Yeah, it might be good for me to actually have some additional weapons or something of that
Right.
nature. Then he goes over here and he's like, when I fought the Kingpin, I realized I was hitting this dude, and so then we get piece by piece by piece. Meets with Melvin Potter. Then he gets the overall.
That
suit.
was one of my problems
But
with
I-
it too.
Well, he did that in the he did that in the comics.
Actually,
Melvin
I
made
didn't
the
help
suit
him.
No,
for
no,
him.
that was one of my problems
But
with
I-
the story too.
No, but you're right though. I mean, look, it was that fight with the Russians. On one hand, I enjoyed it. On the other hand, I was like, why don't you just turn off the lights? why don't you just turn off the lights?
But it's
You don't need to do it
irrespective of whether the
before.
lights. I mean, even if they had the lights, I understand what you're saying, but the dude was just awesome. Awesome incarnate. The fight, what you're trying to show you in that's whether the light is not, we as the audience is seeing, it's just his skills. And that he never goes down, that he continually
It's
needs
not
to come
his
on.
skill that we're seeing because he was already beaten to that point.
He never went down in that fight with the Russians.
Yes, he did. He went down.
Beat up. They had the guys jump on top of him. They beat him up.
No,
They
what
knocked
you
him
saw
down.
was effort.
Look, those guys over here, like if I was fighting a group of like 8-year-olds or something of that nature, I'm pretty certain if they attack me en masse or anything of that nature, yeah, they could probably get me down. But they're no match for me overall. Those guys were never going to be any match for him. It's a
Did
great,
you see the
it's a
injuries
great
on that
match.
guy? Oh my God.
No.
What was it?
Of
Wasn't
course
he
they weren't
left in,
matching him. Yeah.
He
before?
knocked-
That's right. He got his
before.
injuries from them.
He
He
knocked
got-
one of those dudes. No, he was injured when he went to go fight them.
Yeah, but his
They were the
injuries
ones-
that he got
yeah.
that he went to
Because
go
they
fight.
set him up. He walked into
Right.
that fight blind. They
But
were
that's the
waiting
whole
for
point.
him.
But that's the
It was a
point. He
setup.
walked into
It
there
was a
too.
trap. If you get
was a
caught in a
trap.
trap, yeah, you get hurt.
Put it this way: in that hallway is a trap. The kid is down the hallways. You got two guys on either doors. That is a death trap. He's not supposed to make it out of there.
He's not
The
supposed
whole point of that is that it's his effort that gets him out of that. That his will
His
to,
style.
don't
to
dispute
win.
I don't dispute the effort, but that type of effort over a long period of time makes him look unwise. And to be honest, makes him look moronic. You got to take some better precaution, especially if you have the radar sense, can listen in on these things. You can be a bit smarter about it. And if you're injured, maybe he did the straight thing out of the Kung Fu movie. I'm injured. Maybe you should take some time to heal. No. Must go fight now.
He
And
had
die.
to find the kid. He had to find the kid.
What you're seeing is an evolution. He's learning how to do it better, and that's what he's saying. He said,
That's
"Oh,
true.
each time, just like the
So
with
don't
the
fight better. Get armor.
Well,
got the armor.
his skill is
Get armor.
limited, but that's the thing. His skill is limited. It's not
Nah,
going
his
to be
skill's not
able to
limited.
beat everything, and that's what I liked about the ninja. That he was, even though his effort and his determination to beat the Russians, when he come up on somebody more skilled, his desire to kill is just as great as yours. Yo, you're outmatched, and that's what I like there. I was like, ooh, they're not holding back here. And the same thing, if the Kingpin came over here, it's like, okay, even though he cut him, he's not strong enough to knock this guy out. King. Guy is still like, come on, what you got for me? I'm about to toss you up here. And I was like, wow.
What, the
Remember
fight,
that
the fight he
episode?
had with the first fight or the second fight he had with the Kingpin?
The first one.
He was like pretty injured with that one. I don't know if that's a spare fight.
It's not about him being injured. It's that his effort, his will to try and kill the king. Remember, he was trying to kill the Kingpin. That's even more of a reason for him to do what he does. And I was like, well, his skill, his effort showed no wears on the Kingpin or the ninja dude. And I was just like, this is beautiful. He had to retreat. And I was just like, beautiful. He's learning as we go. But what I said I agreed with you on was that the Billy Clubs, all of that wasn't an area where he was concerned with. And I was like, well, shouldn't he be concerned with this if it's something that he's wanting to try and do battle better and to get to his enemies? This should be an evolution of him wanting to have a weapon, and it was never really a part of it until the very end. And I was just like, and it was this really weird contraption. It was all,
But the
and I was
fire-
just like, oh,
but the
come
firecrackers-
on.
I
It
thought
was
that was
just
good,
all
so I'm not gonna
Hollywood
knock
at the
that.
end.
No,
But
his
then you have-
skill with the sticks is shown. The guy, shoots the shurikens at him, and he's able to repel every single one of them, much better than what they did in the Daredevil film. The Daredevil film, they just had him backflip and did some CGI crap. He comes over there and he, blocks all of them with the sticks. So I'm like, no, the skill is there. The guy had the guy over, to be quite honest, okay, if he was using the sticks appropriately, it's like, look, I'm going to come over here, throw this one off, let it cack you in the back of the head or something. That would have given him parity with what this guy was overdoing. I'm not 100% sold on the whole skill thing, because the guy was pretty much doing the 1,000 cuts thing with the weapon that he could not, the weapon that he just couldn't
If
take
his skill
out.
was up, he would be able to dodge it. That's what I'm saying. His skill was limited.
One other question. What about this, the Kingpin? Do you think that they gave out his name way too soon? I
Yes.
mean, Wilson Fix, I think it was like the second or third episode, bam, they said who he was.
They gave
I'm
out
like,
his
huh?
name and they never said Kingpin.
I'm saying, wait, yeah, I know. I said, what the hell happened here? I mean, he's supposed to be I guess in this episode, in this series, he's part of a collective. You know what I'm trying to say?
Was at the end, yeah.
The way I
Right.
He was
thought they
part
were
of a
gonna-
collective.
The way I thought they
But
were
the
going to run it
collective-
is that he's part of this collective and that he's going to, little by little, get rid of all of them. And by the end of the series,
Right.
Kingpin of crime. But he was already in prison. So I was like, okay. You guys just said, okay, no, we're going to get to the end of this. And I thought that would be a better basis for season 2 where he's trying to actually bring him down. But, I can't.
But that doesn't mean he can't still influence things within prison.
Definitely
so,
not.
I mean, we
I was
know
just-
that the
definitely
criminal
not. I was
gangs
just
throughout
surprised
the
they locked
world
him up
would
so
run the
long.
whole thing.
What'd you think about the
But hold
twist?
on,
Go ahead.
But what I'm saying is, I still love the show, but that was one of the things where I'm saying, wait, the Kingpin, what the heck happened here? You know what I'm trying to say? I didn't feel as intimidating. To me, I thought the Kingpin is supposed to be so intimidating physically, mentally, and you're not supposed to see him. He's supposed to be like a god up in the sky where everybody's like, whoa, this is the Kingpin of crime. He's running the show. You can't do anything on the streets but they took a different thing, the collective,
Right, or gang organizations,
Well,
the
you got
mafia.
to see the rise and pretty much the fall of the Kingpin in that series. I mean, if you wanted somebody who was really physically intimidating, you should have got the actor from Game of Thrones who played the Mountain. You would have definitely felt
I don't know who
intimidated.
that actor is, but I was
it's a thick
surprised.
book. It's a
Okay,
thick book.
no, I'm talking about the Game of Thrones, the show, not the
Oh,
book.
okay.
Okay, yeah. But what about the twist that they threw in there? With what you call it? What's her name?
Claire Temple?
No, the secretary, the
Karen Page?
Karen
Sharon
Page
Page.
killing what you call it? What'd you think of that twist there?
I don't know. I was still getting over that. I just wasn't expecting
I
that.
was me neither. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
that was a nice
I
throw.
felt that character totally changed from the comic books.
Oh yeah, of
And
course.
so, but of course,
Which I liked.
we-
I like what they added to the character.
I just didn't know what to expect from her. It was like, especially when the reporter said, "Hey, I know about your."
But there was two twists. It was that one and Ben Ura getting killed.
Ben Urich. Well,
Because I thought that was going to be as far as
I
the
can see
next
Ben-
season.
I didn't see Ben Urich going on.
I didn't see him dying. I didn't
see him dying.
I didn't see him dying.
Who else was there? Somebody. Look, we knew somebody had to buy it after Wesley.
Somebody did buy it. Wesley.
No,
but
I said after Wesley, somebody's gonna go down. Somebody.
I thought it was going to be what you call it though. We had the Russians that went down.
It wasn't Karen. It was gonna have to be Ben's the only person left unless you're gonna kill Foggy.
No, I thought the dude that was playing the accountant. I thought he was gonna get it in very quick.
I thought he was gonna get it.
I thought he was gonna get it real quick. But I never saw Ben Ure getting it this soon. I saw eventually maybe season 2 because his knowledge is he's going, and he didn't even have a chance to put up his blog. And I'm like, damn son, what happened to the whole we want the suspense and what the blog could do and
blame Karen. If she had told him, he would have done it. He could have done it remotely. He didn't have to go home to go do it. But she was like, "Hey, I think they're onto us. I think they're onto us." Like,
I think they were onto us
I
from the very
killed
beginning.
somebody. I killed his right hand man, dude. I killed his right hand man.
I agree with you
in
on
the
that.
comics. In the comics, Karen is selfish, and on the show, she pretty much seems to be falling in line with that same stuff. I didn't have look. You feel threatened. The guy abducted you and everything like that. You get the gun. You shoot him. The problem was like, it wasn't like you shot him and you ran out. You unloaded the clip. Okay, you unloaded the clip into this
Anger,
dude.
man, anger.
Fine, and then one shot would have done it. And then you come over.
You're pissed off. You've been threatened by these
Did she
guys
look
from the
pissed
beginning.
Tried to kill you.
No,
She looked terrified. when she
Terrified,
was
but I'm
shooting.
saying you're right, but terrified. But I'm saying these guys, but there's so much.
tried to buy you
they
off.
beat you up. They framed you for murder. They've been following you.
None of that would have held up. Look, if she went on trial for the whole thing, they would have said, "Look, okay, fine.
Stand your ground. Stand your ground. Stand your ground.
Not in New York. Not in New York. You don't play that in New York.
No, the whole idea would have been, look, they'll ask those questions. They were like, well, look, once you had the gun, did you have an opportunity to escape? She could have said, no. Okay, fine. The gun holds 16 shots.
The trigger jam.
Did you need to fire all 16 shots? I was afraid. No, they take all of that stuff into account because the whole idea is, look, killing someone is a serious offense.
Of course it is.
No problem on that. I thought that was excessive in terms of the story, but no problem on that. But that she didn't tell Ben. Okay, that she came over here and wanted to play coy, like I think they're on to us because she's still trying to cover her own ass because she killed somebody. Like, no, I killed this dude. At the very least, Ben's been over here helping me out. Give this guy at least what he needs. If he still wants to be dumb and go back to his home where they can find him.
I agree with you on
I
that
understand
the character dropped the ball with exposing that. Look, they caught me. They know that I was up there. The home. But her killing the guy, I think, was right in line with all of the buildup of the tension that she was just like, like, oh, it's a release of emotion and everything. I'm like, I just need you to be dead. I just want you out of my life. You're just this thorn that is not going away. That's, it's either I go or you go, and you're going to go.
But Cal made a great point, that she is selfish.
Oh yeah,
We know she
I
has
agree.
secrets.
I agree.
We know she's using these guys. That's what I feel. I've been feeling from the very beginning. She's definitely using Foggy.
Well, she did a Man of Steel. She did all that destruction at the end of the show.
Right.
She's making Google eyes that, hey, Matt.
She's looking
I
at
like the
Matt.
sound of your voice.
She's looking at Matt. She's
Like
looking
the
at
sound of
Foggy.
your voice.
We're going to do the comic book thing with the whole selling of who Daredevil is. But here's my thing.
God, no.
Here's my thing. With all these superhero stuff, the whole idea of being a superhero is being thrown out the window like, you know what? Your secret identity is not as important as you. I'm like, wait a second. The Doctor, Foggy. I mean, like, who else? Come on, man. I'm like, come on.
Okay,
Really?
but I can see.
I was like,
the
Foggy?
Doctor. I can see the Foggy.
Because the way they were building up the Foggy thing was like, there may be a love triangle. And then,
Right.
and I was like, okay. When I saw the episode title where it was like, Nelson versus Murdoch, I said, okay, Karen must be involved in here, and there must be some love triangle, and because they already tipped to it to the early, like, you always get the good-looking, the beautiful girls,
Right,
the
right.
XYZ. So I'm like, okay, no, it didn't happen. I'm like, huh?
But
And
see,
it
I
was about his identity.
But I think that was absolutely great. Their relationship. Remember, Matt has no other family. This is his family.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
all,
you're
all
right.
intents and purposes.
Yeah,
And he
Foggy,
felt
that's it.
totally
betrayed. Yeah.
Totally betrayed. All this time, he said, you couldn't even tell me. The one guy who, he wanted to work in corporate America. He wanted to work for the law firm, but Matt convinced him, and so he went with it. Whatever Matt does, he's down with that. And here it is. This guy totally just didn't try. He's like, oh, I couldn't believe it.
But here's the thing.
It's like that
not
time when I
that he
called your
found
house and I
out.
found out what was
It's
going on.
how
And then
they
he went
made
and
it
had
happen.
sex.
But see, it's not how they found out. It's how they made it happen. I'm knocking on the door. Matt. Oh, is somebody in there? It's like, if somebody's in there and you call the police, dude. Call the police. Somebody's in his apartment, man. Why are you now going to say, hey, let me go to the roof, climb over, come in on the other side to find out who's in your apartment? I was like, come on now.
Because
But
he
he was
called the
going-
police.
No. Come on. Foggy
police.
is no. Foggy,
Can't call the
call the
police.
police, dude.
This is New York City, man. We don't.
Nah,
What are you talking
I
about?
just-
He knows the set. He knows the what? The death sergeant. Remember,
No,
they go back
That's
way.
true, that's
Come
true.
on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
he's
Call the
calling the
police.
police. There's no way this dude.
All right, guys, we need to wrap it up. Petey, what's your take on the show?
Well, before we walk
No,
up,
no,
I want
no,
to say, man,
no,
stick,
no, no,
man.
no,
We got
no,
stick.
no,
We
no.
got stick. We got to talk about
We
stick.
get enough steak. I
Time
think
to
we should
go,
have steak.
time to go.
I know we're running pretty low. You know,
Go ahead.
Petey, what do you think?
I think it was a good start to the Marvel Netflix series, and hope the next ones are going to be as good. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. I don't know what they're gonna do. Who's coming out for next?
Jessica
Power Man.
Jones.
Oh, is it Jessica Jones?
Jessica
Or Jessica
Jones.
Power Man? Okay.
He'll be on the show too, but Luke Cage will be on the show, but it's Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
I'm disappointed in the idea of Jessica Jones. I'm thinking it should be, the Daughters of the
Sexist.
Dragon.
Sexist,
No, just the Daughters of the Dragon. The
Yeah,
other
we're
group.
not- yeah.
The other, because I don't know Jessica Jones. I mean, like I said, I've been out of comic books. I understand she's pretty big in Hell's Kitchen as a character of today's storylines, but, Daughters of the Dragons, the Heroes for Hire, I'm like, that's
I know.
more Misty
Yeah.
Knight.
History.
I mean, and
They got
I'm like,
history.
for me, that's
Yeah.
but maybe those guys will appear in either Iron Man and more like not Iron Man, Iron Fist or Power Man books, more like the Iron Fist books because of the Misty Knight and
It's possible.
the Iron Fist
That'd be
connection.
great. But
So, Cal, what you think,
get
bro?
rid of you can get rid of Jessica Jones.
I think so too. I'm like,
Well, we
they-
don't know how they're gonna approach it. I mean, I was really impressed by how they approached this. But there was a lot of money. There was a lot of money thrown
the
behind
only
it.
thing I didn't like was the costume. I was just like, this.
I'm not. The costume.
No, the
wasn't
costume
wrong.
was.
But
no,
Cal,
no, no.
they'll
you
fix
had
it.
your chance to say,
They'll-
Cal.
Oh, I
what
didn't have
do
a
you
chance
think?
to say.
Yes, you did.
Oh, okay. I guess we were wrapping it up. Go ahead.
Yeah.
They'll,
Cal.
they'll fix the outfit. I'm pretty certain that they'll look at the whole thing. They seem committed to making a good project and a good product, and I'm pretty certain they'll look at it and say, yeah, we can do some stuff here and we can do some stuff there. So I won't worry about that too much. But again, this was really good. And one of the things I liked best about it was that the character was applicable for the setting. Not that we're going to take these characters, we're not going to take this round character here and going to try to square them, so we can tell a dark story with them or something of that nature. That character is applicable for this particular story, and that's one of the reasons why it works very, very well. And it gives some variety, again, to what these guys have. If you're somebody, oh, no, Iron Man, I don't go, but Daredevil might be for you. And again, it shows that, look, we can play different. So we can do the crime story. We can do the magic story. We can do the big superhero Hollywood stories and so on and so forth. So I'm really Iron Fist, I'm really looking forward to see what they do with.
Me too.
Really looking forward to see what they do with
Well,
that.
they already set up Iron Fist with they were showing you that the the drug had the iron with the dragon symbol
Yeah.
on there,
That's
and
what-
of
that's
course from
But he's not
Iron
gonna go to
Man.
Shangri-La?
What was it called? The
Kunlun.
No, he's not gonna go to Kunlun.
yeah, extremist. Yeah, that the guy had the.
He's not going to go to Kunlun?
I don't think
go.
so.
He
It's
gotta
a-
go get
Nah,
the-
nah,
he
nah,
got
nah.
to get the
Remember, this
dragon.
is street level. This is street level,
Yeah,
man.
still, you need to
This
have
is street
that.
level
He's got
something.
to, yeah.
It has to
No,
be the
no,
extremist.
he'll
It has
go
to be
to-
the
He
extremist.
has to go.
No,
That's
no,
part of his
No, if they're
identity.
going to do Marvel right, they're going to do
He'll
a
do-
connection to
no.
the extremists.
Okay.
No,
That's
he's
not
gonna
right,
go.
though.
He's
We
gonna
need
go.
to-
He'll go
we
to
need-
Kunlun. He'll go to
Gentlemen,
Kunlun.
we have to wrap it up. Everybody, thank you once again for a brilliant discussion with Spinner Rack.